Something that makes one rental at a time a different channel is I reach out and have these amazing folks who are experts in other areas that'll come on once a week. And on Thursdays, we talk to the boys from Convoy Home Loans. How you doing, Dustin?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. And Jonathan, your move-in day, huh?
I am moving. It's been a busy day.
Yeah. Well, thank you for still taking the time for this half hour. I appreciate it. I'm sure the one rental at a time fans appreciate it as well. Let's just jump into it. We had a note from the Dallas Fed president saying, damn it, rates have to go higher. We're not done. Basically trying to talk the market out of a pause. I don't know if you've seen that. We obviously have the debt ceiling nonsense going on, which is impacting the 10-year. I think we've had the 10-year go up quite a bit in the last week since we spoke, which is probably impacting mortgage rates. I think Mortgage Business Daily says 6.7%. What is going on with the rates? All this craziness. I don't know who wants to start, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's a market that is never boring, like we said before. A week ago, everybody that was an expert, you'll call it even, believed that we were going to see rates trickle down slowly, and obviously that did not happen. Rates on our side, I think the average 30-year that we peg amongst all of the lenders we work with was at like 6.57 when I checked this morning. Last week was like 6.32, and that's a pretty big jump
Yeah.
given what everyone thought was happening last week. And we go over this all the time. Mortgage rates are going to follow the sentiment on what traders believe the Feds are going to do. Had a lot more hawkish comments, and we've seen the good old spread between the 10-year and the average 30-year increase a little bit. I think it's technically with us at 3.08. Normally it's 1.75 to 1.8, but I think what we take away from all this and what we tell our clients all the time is if you like it, lock it. It's just not in a market where you risk anything. Even if the sentiment is they should go down, they'll probably go down. Just we've seen it over the last year and a half. Don't think that you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I think is going on in the environment, obviously I hear it, but you guys are in the eye of the storm, is lots of lenders, whether it be private or regional banks and the like, are starting to either reduce the flow or some frankly just turn it off. Jonathan, what are you guys seeing out there?
Yeah, I'm assuming you just mean like, intake of volume, right? And processing volume. That's definitely been happening. I mean, we've been talking about it for I think weeks and weeks and weeks, right? Especially when they first, even when they started with rolling out the credit tightening policies.
Yeah. Yep.
So, we definitely are seeing that happen across the board, especially because we were trying, we've had a lot of conversations with First Republic because we used to have a line there to be able to fund investment loans and such. And they let us know that they have basically like their lending is just kind of stopped, right? Under First Republic. They're still processing it under First Republic, but because they have to fund it under JP Morgan, they've been kind of like slowing everything down. And I think that's happening across the board with the big banks, unless you're like a, private client with like $1 million or some money, right? They're really slowing everything down on the banking side. And I think even some lenders, I mean, they're purposely raising rates for some lenders to make sure that the rates just, the lenders just don't go. Because we have other regional banks that we're, tied to, like Dustin and I were talking about this yesterday, where just maybe 2 months ago, the rates were like a point and a half lower than the average, like, DSCR. Like we were talking, Dustin, we had like one at like 5.5 at a certain point, like 2 months ago, and in California, and then now it's all up. So, everyone's raising rates to slow things down. And I think that's kind of like really putting a pause on volume.
Yeah, I really think, again, you guys probably look at this every quarter. I rarely look at it, but it came out last week, the Sluice report. And really what my take for that, again, Sluice being Senior Loan Officer Opinion Survey for folks that want to go look it up, is credit's tightening already. It's now the third quarter in a row, but it's going to tighten the next 3 quarters, which is just kind of to your point. People are banks very rarely say no. They raise rates or tighten up the box so much that the answer becomes no. And I think we're really starting to see that in transaction volume, especially in commercial. Oh my goodness. Commercial volume is down like 75 or 80%. It's pretty wild to look at. What do you guys, what are you seeing, Dustin?
Yeah, we so for those that don't know, we do have a commercial branch called Convoy Capital, right? And our business partners, I had a long talk with him yesterday, and it's strange that he has more applications and more clients looking to do something right now than he did a year ago. The problem is that he doesn't have any banks that want to take it, right? So
Exactly. This is exactly what I'm seeing too. Yes.
their commercial's big regional bank player, right? Mortgage, residential, pardon me. We like to use them when we can, but they're not as big of a player as they are in the
Yeah.
commercial space.
Correct.
So he's going to, like he told me, credit unions and smaller kind of not regional but local city banks, right?
Yep. Yeah. Like 3 branches in a city. Yeah.
And they'll take 10, 20 mil and then they'll be done. They got 3 people, 3 underwriters, but he's like, he's struggling, and they do really well because of the fact that not clients he doesn't have, just banks that don't want to lend.
Yeah, the commercial market is going to go through it for the next 12 to 18 months. Obviously, one of the things I think that's happening right now is price discovery. I don't know if you guys are in tune to this, but 350 California, downtown San Francisco office building finally retraded. So we have price discovery. It went for a 73% discount, which is pretty wild to think about, an office building in the heart of San Francisco with 73% haircut. So I think the deals and opportunities are coming. It does not shock me that he has more files, I'll call it,
Yeah.
and less lenders. So I think we're just going through an environment. It's going to be kind of survive to 25 is what I think a lot of commercial operators have to really be thinking about. What do you think, Jonathan?
I agree. And obviously commercial is always kind of delayed to the reaction of residential, right?
Yeah,
We
they're
kind
not.
of
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, we went through this. I think we kind of went through this already last year, right? When rates started just boom, boom, jumping, jumping, jumping,
Yeah.
jumping. We were like,
July, August, when they hit 7, the market stopped. Yep.
yeah, where do we go? Where do we go? And then everyone's starting to, from our side, starting to be like, okay, well, let's
We
tone back a
understand
little
now.
bit. I
Exactly. Yeah.
think it'll work. And then they're starting to work it back. But commercial rates obviously have always kind of lagged behind residential rates, and people were still trying to make transactions happen in at those lower rates, that worked, but now they don't work. So,
Yeah.
or they won't take it. So I think
That's the key. They won't take it. Yeah.
yeah, I think definitely, we need to understand that, that's why there's residential and commercial. If you play in both spaces, it's great because then you can kind of pivot when the market does what it's doing right now. But this is something that, delayed response wise, which is usually what happens for commercial versus residential, because residential is so fast volatile.
Yep.
Like I think this is a good opportunity, like you said, to buy, but also at the same time, just be open, right? Everyone needs to just be open to the different asset classes and understand that it's not just one way is the right way.
Yeah.
If you play in every space like you do, Mike, I mean, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, folks, go ahead. If you haven't read my book, One Rental at a Time, I talk about how we pivoted and left single family, went to commercial, and then came back to single family. They do not operate in the same cycles. If you say real estate market and think multifamily, larger multifamily and singles operate together, you're missing the point. Go back and do your homework. If folks want to reach out to you and see if you can help them, because I think a lot of people need a plan B lender, how should they reach out to you, the folks at Convoy Home Loans?
Go to convoyhomeloans.com and let us know you came from Morat, and hopefully we become the first choice.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. And again, folks, I sent you guys some text over the week. There's been a lot more One Rental at a Time fans singing your praises. So kudos to you two for delivering what you say. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.